All right, what's up, guys? I'm trying something different. So, got my whiteboard up here, and I'm just gonna go over the 10 seeds of greatness. Oh my gosh, I got the book right here, just so y'all can see it. 10 seeds of greatness, Mr. Waitley. So, I'm gonna be going over the first seed, which is the seed of self-esteem. So I'm going to do something different. Like I said, I'm going to write on the board, and I'm actually going to break stuff down. So let's start with self-esteem. All right. Self-esteem is one of those really important attributes that we like to take for granted because it really dictates how we move about this earth, how we speak to other people, how we communicate to ourselves, and how we just look at the world around us, and then in turn, how it looks back at us. So, with that being said, I want to talk about the gift of love. All right. Now, everything I'm getting is it's a mixture of what I have just seen through various books I've read, personal experience, and also mainly from this book, because a lot of the things I'm writing up here as key points are stuff I just highlighted of the book. So, the gift of love. If you want anything to grow, I recommend you give it plenty of love, plenty of appreciation, admiration, inspiration, and let it know that it's welcome. And this goes for yourself as well. And this also helps build up your self-esteem. So if you're willing to give yourself love, compassion, and understand that you just love yourself and you love yourself simply for being you and not anything else, then you could really make some tremendous leaps in terms of self-esteem. The next one is love is letting go of fear. All right. All right. Hopefully y'all can see that. I'm pretty sure. Either way, I'm saying it, so y'all should be good. But love is letting go of fear. I don't know if many of y'all have heard this, but we are actually eternal spiritual beings having a physical experience right now in this present moment. And when you realize that as spiritual beings, our natural set point, our natural base, frequency, vibration, energy, whatever you want to say, is love. We naturally are in alignment and attuned with love. That's why it's so important to realize love is about letting go of fear, because you're already love itself. You just have fear attached to, I guess, maybe the labels you have about yourself, maybe things people have said about you, and you just have fear attached to your body, attached to you energetically, and it's all about letting go of that, and then you can experience more love into your life and understand that you are love itself, and then you can share that compassion with other people. All right, the next point, parents can pass their own hang-ups to their children. All right. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna make it simple. Instead of saying all that, I'm gonna say, what is the word? I see so many people use it on Twitter and stuff. Generational curses, generational trauma. There we go. Generational trauma. That's the word. Generational trauma. All right. So with generational trauma, you can see this. There was a beautiful example in the book. It was husband sees his wife and she cuts both sides of the ham before she puts it in the oven. And he's like, honey, why do you do that? She's like, I don't know. My mother always did it. So then he goes to the mother. It's Thanksgiving. She cuts the ham on both sides. She's like, why do you do that? I don't know. I always saw my mother do it. Then he goes to the grandmother, and then he asks the grandmother, and the grandmother's like, cause my pan is too small. Like, and then you realize through a simple story like that, you're like, we've been doing stuff that our parents, grandparents have passed down to us that we no longer serves us, but we still do it. We still go through this, and I feel like this might be a separate topic, but also within the I don't want to get into too much, but I definitely think within the Black community and with communities dealing with racism and prejudice in the past, we can experience trauma that has been passed down from our ancestors, through our grandparents, through our parents, And just how they saw the world and perceived the world, they'll also pass that down to us. If they saw the world as a very dark and dangerous place, they will more likely than not pass that down to their kids, and their kids will also see it as a dark, dreadful, dangerous place. So it's always important. And if you are a parent watching this leads me right into my next point. Be careful what you tell your kids. Kids take labels are personal, all right? Kids take labels as personal. So when you say to your kid, oh, you're so stupid, you didn't get a good grade on this, your kid cannot separate the deed from the doer. So your kid does not think like, oh, I did bad on this test. Your kid thinks, I am stupid, I do bad on this test, therefore I am stupid itself. I am stupidity. And that's not something you want anybody to hear. And as adults, you think you watch, they should know that, but let's have some compassion here, because you wouldn't say that to any of your friends. And if you do say that to your friends, just think about how it might affect them. And one, some people don't have that mental capacity, kids especially don't have that mental capacity to separate their actions from themselves, to know that what they did, look at these notes, they're unable to separate who she or he is from what he or she does. So when you begin to blame them for their actions, they begin to seek those actions and say those actions are actually a representation of them. And even though you call those actions stupid, they begin to call themselves stupid because they committed those actions and they cannot see the difference between themselves and the actions. So keep that noted. All right. So now we're going to go into the 3 fears. All right. So you have 3 fears. You have, I'm going to use black. All right. You have a fear of success. Hold on, I should probably turn around when I talk to y'all. Fear of success, change, and what's the rejection? All right. All right, so we got 3 fears up there. I'm really hoping you guys could read this, because dang it, this is the only reason I have this board right here. All right, so the first fear is of success. So those people, they got something good going for them. You're like, yes, like you got this. Don't worry about it. They're excited about it too. And my dog is laying right next to my thing. All right. So you're like, yes, you got this. And then they sabotage themselves. That is a fear of success. These people, as much as they think they want to succeed, they really don't, because whenever they do get close to it, they sabotage themselves, they penalize themselves for striving there. And a lot of the times, this is very difficult. A lot of these are very difficult because when you have a fear of success, you're afraid of your own potential. So you won't even give your chance to open up and let yourself breathe. Just open up your wings, baby, and fly like an eagle. You feel me? All right, but next one is fear of change. Fear of change is you don't want to do something different. You're kind of stagnated and you just want to stay consistent and do the same thing you're doing. A lot of time, this fear stems from when you were growing up. You were taught not to go against the status quo. You were taught to fit within a box and be this particular person. And if you go anything outside of what I think you are, then no, that's bad, incorrect. You shouldn't be that way. And that was the energy you were met with. So now you're really resistant and hesitant to change because you feel like you will be met with some form of rejection. And that leads me on to the next one, fear of rejection. And I want you to keep in mind, all three of these have a dynamic relationship with one another, because rejection ties into both success and change. If you're afraid of rejection, ultimately you will never change, and ultimately you will never succeed in life, because everybody's going to tell you no. Maybe not everybody, but most of the time you're going to hear a lot of no's before you get a couple yeses. That's just life, because, life is full of success, failures, ups, downs. You got to balance out the good with the bad. That's just how it is. And if you're not willing to take a chance and be rejected with something new, you're never going to have success. See how that works? But yes, let's move on to the next point. All right. So a lot of times we're getting to law of attraction right now. Let's see. I think y'all could see this. Law of attraction. All right. All right. So we got, okay. I'm going to make this easier on everybody. I'll be right back. Oh, my hip. Okay, I'm good. I just hit the wall. Hit my dresser. Okay. So that's not bad. You can still kind of see. Change the lighting. Okay, that didn't really do anything. Okay. Regardless. Hey, how in the world am I supposed to block? Okay, whatever. We're back on task. So, law of attraction. All right. So, I'm pretty sure you know what a law of attraction is. Like attracts like. You think positive, good feelings. Positive, good things come your way. Yes. Do good things come your way. Yes. Karma, law of karma, all that stuff. All that good stuff. But something that a lot of people are missing is, let's write it down here. We have failure, reinforcement, as well as failure forecasting. My dog is chewing on something. If you hear that, it's a dog. Okay, so, man, y'all better be able to read this. I'm gonna be sick. All right. If this is in reverse this whole time, just know I really tried and I wanted y'all to get a lot of information out of this. All right. This is my first video I'm ever doing like this. All right. So, failure reinforcement. Basically, you take a look back at your past and you're like, wow, I had a lot of failure there. That sucks. I wouldn't do that again. A lot of mistakes. And you just look back, constant looking back at all your trials, tribulations that you had no real success in and you're not too proud of. And you don't want to admit that you failed. And you know that you failed and you feel it in your heart and you're like, oh, that sucks. And then we go to the other side. And on top of reinforcing those failures, continuously looking back at them, bringing them up and thinking that's all you could ever be because you're all so attached to your past and not the present moment, then we get into failure forecasting. Well, if you think you started off bad, where do you think you end up? All right? Exactly. Your past then becomes failure forecasting. You're forecasting your failures into the future. Like a law of attraction, instead of thinking from the standpoint of, instead of thinking from a healthy mindset, I'll say that. Instead of being like, I didn't do it like this. Maybe if I did it like this would actually perform a better outcome for myself and it'll probably have more success in the future. Instead, you fail your forecast and you say, just because my past, I'm imagining the same future. It's probably going to happen again. Yeah, every time I try it like that, it just fails, you know? And that's not really a healthy mindset. It's just going to lead to the same thing. Just your past is being reinforcing your future. All you can do is forecast the future with the failures that you have been reinforced with. That's why I think it's very important, even though it's not really going to correspond as much right now. Tabula rasa. I know a lot of people have heard that. If you're into psychology, clean slate. How about you start in the present moment and develop a clean slate for yourself, you know? And then just see like, okay, this is me in the present moment. I'm good. And I don't necessarily need to worry about any failures, any success or anything. Just be in the present moment and then create from there. You are a co-creator. You can do that. You can create with other people and you can create, more importantly, with yourself and your guides. So tap into that. Woo. Okay. Whew. Okay. And on top of all this, I'm going to help you guys out on how to lead with love instead of fear. All right? So, first, separate performance from performer. Like I said earlier, separate the deed from the doer. All right? This is always important because you always want to respect the person, but also you might want to criticize their actions and their performance. And this is extremely helpful because you're not attacking that person, but you're also letting them know where they are at fault and where there are some inconsistencies and some not so good work that maybe they should pick up the slack on. And this is very healthy, and this will help you save a lot of relationships, because sometimes we think just because this person did X, Y, and Z, that this person is X, Y, and Z, and we should yell at them for it, and we should despise them for it. But this is not the case. If you took a couple seconds, minutes out of your day, and you expressed how you felt about their actions, but knowingly admitted that you know it doesn't reflect on who they are as a person, maybe you could get more success and develop more healthy, balanced relationships for yourself. All right. And on top of separating performance from the performer, let's also get into criticize the performance, praise the performer. All right? Praise that person you're talking to, you're trying to criticize. Let them know, like, hey, you did really good here. This was awesome. I always love your work. But then let them know, this project, though, I had a little anticipation, a little hope about this one, and it just wasn't the best I thought it would be. But I've seen from a lot of your past work, I know you can do way better. And you know how that is? You just give them a criticism, but then at the heel of the criticism, also give them appraisal for them as a performer. And yeah, they'll appreciate that, and they'll not think you're a jerk. So yeah. And to wrap all of this up, I have 2 points. All right? 2 points that I want to stick into your noggin as a golden nugget of information. All right? No more McDonald's nuggets, but gold nuggets of information inside of those beautiful noggins that you guys got. So, self-acceptance right now is the key to a healthy self-esteem. All right? Self-acceptance is key. All right? Major key. Self-acceptance. But facts. If you can appreciate and you can love and admire yourself, have some compassion for yourself right now, in this present moment, then you can love yourself in the future. You could love yourself for the past. You know? Just love yourself now. Start with a healthy foundation, and then you could build from there. And who knows, you can make yourself a fantabulous fortress of self-esteem. But next one is the idea and notion of labels. All right? Now, throughout this, you have heard me talk a lot about children being affected by labels, and also separating performance from performer. And it's very important because when we get into labels rule the world. Labels rule you. And you may not think that, and you may be like, nothing controls me. You can't control me. No words. Only God got me. And there ain't nothing you saying could hold me. Well, like, let's think about it like this. You grow up and you, let's say somebody says you suck at a sport, right? You suck at basketball, right? They say you suck at basketball. And instead of trying basketball and being like, no, I don't suck, you may actually get attached to that label of sucking at basketball. And you may not admit it and go around being like, hey guys, I suck at basketball. Yeah, I suck at basketball. You begin to internalize it and you say, damn, I suck at basketball. You just say it to yourself, you internalize it, and it becomes just, a little thought loop that you have going on inside your head, eventually going into your subconscious, making that belief true for yourself. Because eventually that label of I suck at basketball, I'm a bad basketball player, is in your auric field, in your energetic thought patterns, in your vibration, and you are thinking and seek out information that also relates and says you suck at basketball. So I think it's very important to understand what labels you are giving yourself, what labels you are giving other people, and what labels other people are giving you that you agree to. Because once you agree to them, they are telling your story and you're not telling your own story. See how that works? Somebody could call you dumb and you'd be like, oh, you're right, I'm dumb. You agree with what they said. So get ready for all those terms and conditions that you didn't read, such as you feeling dumb, you thinking you're dumb, you agreeing with other people that you're dumb. You encounter more circumstances and scenarios where you are dumb and exhibit qualities of dumbness. And you think, oh, like, they're right, I am dumb. No, you just agreed with them. You're not dumb, you're just agreeing to play this person who is attributing qualities of dumbness to themselves. So do yourself a favor and drop the labels, do some deep shadow work, some inner work, and discover what is inside, and then strip away all that, bring in some positive vibration, good energy, know who you are, bring that to the light, shine it outward. All right. It has been a lesson about self-esteem with your boy, Jaimin, and we climbing to the top. And we will never stop because we are the cream of the crop. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say see you later, and I hope you keep it tight and keep your thick skin like an alligator. Don't let anybody tell you who you are, because you know who you are at the core. And I'll tell you who that is. You're a star, baby. All right, peace, love, and light.